Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 2 in the series Czech versus Reprisal, this time here on Echo Isle. Reprisal spawning as the red human player on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, we see Czech spawning as the blue night elf spawning on the top right. This will be a human versus night elf matchup once more, and it is on a much favored human map. Echo Isle known to be one of the human favorite maps. As we see, wait, is this a blood mage? First, I need to go ahead and figure out what exactly Reprisal is thinking. Normally, blood mage is not the primary hero. Blood mage is normally the secondary hero, as the blood mage acts as either a mana battery or some other support hero. The blood mage being chosen first with banish in order to shut down some of the other creeps. That is an interesting choice, but I'm not quite sure if Reprisal is going to be able to get that much mileage out of this sort of trick play. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at this. Ring of Protection +3. Blood mage now getting healed back up just a little bit. You can see there is a wisp down over here, and I gotta believe Czech is just scratching his head a little bit, wondering to himself, what exactly should I be doing against a blood mage first? Warden is going to be the primary hero, so the Warden is actually going to be relatively low on mana. Normally, I would have thought that the Mountain King would have been the better primary hero, just because Stormbolt, Bash, and Thunderclap scale significantly better than, say, Banish or Siphon mana. Now this is going to be an issue. We'll see what the blood mage is really thinking here in the long run. Is he going to pick up another mercenary hero here in just a second? Meanwhile, back inside the base, you can see that is a guard tower going up, and it looks like, yes, Reprisal is going to be setting up for an expansion. Back across over here, Czech using this opportunity, and if Czech gets to level 3 or even level 5 or level 3 on this Warden, any sort of militia play will pretty much be stopped in its tracks. Militia are very vulnerable to Fan of Knives of that Warden, and unless we see a large number of arcane towers, I don't really know what exactly Reprisal can do to shut it down. You can also take a look. Forest Troll Berserkers are out on the field. In addition to that, Troll Shadow Priest, Blood Mage does have a fair bit of mana. And what is he going to get as his second ability? I have not seen Siphon mana. I have not seen a higher level banish either. That's just rather odd to see, as the Warden is gonna perhaps get aggroed here. No, it doesn't look like it, and it looks like the Wardens are gonna purposely back off and then try and re-engage after an ensnare goes down. All right, Warden has joined in on the fight, waiting for the Fan of Knives. Arcane Tower needs to come in. There's a Siphon mana. There's that Fan of Knives that I was oh so worried about so long ago. As you can see, and that the Blood Mage now, wow, interestingly enough, this one particular Warden, Fan of Knives, moves to try and hit more units. There's some Siphon mana, and the Warden is now pretty much out of mana, save for another Fan of Knives. Warden could try and mass teleport away. The guard towers and the arcane tower will be coming up here momentarily, and the Warden is not going to be able to get very far at all, as we see a beautiful swap right there. Forest Troll Berserker finishing off that surround here, as we are now looking at, yes, a town hall being constructed. All right, Staff of Teleportation. That Czech knows that he cannot stick around for very long, decides to get away. Dust of Appearance quickly purchased as well. Boots of Speed also picked up, as the Ring of Protection was sold back to the shop. Now, we are about 6 minutes into this game. Reprisal now making his way back out across the map. He hopes to perhaps finish off some of these creep camps. No item has been left behind, but there is a Tree of Life right here that could be taking a significant amount of damage. This Blood Mage is really catching himself into a bad spot, though, and if he's forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal, that is going to be very bad news. There's a detonation right there. Not altogether that good, as we're going to be looking at that Blood Mage just flinging whatever those balls of fire are, pretty much, as we're looking at perhaps a more Siphon mana, Shadow Strike, and a Banish onto himself in order to stay alive. Level 1 Shadow Strike, level 1 Banish. That magic damage did actually deal a little bit more damage, as he is going to be able to siphon mana away from that Warden for longer. Another Shadow Strike comes in though, and the Blood Mage abolished magic. Wow, beautiful use of abolished magic by Czech, as Czech with that Forest Priest or Troll Priest, Shadow Priest, yeah, Forest Troll Shadow Priest, my goodness, couldn't even say that 2 times slow, as we are now looking at the Footmen looking to finish off the expansion here. Back off to the north, Militia looked like they were wanting to clear out that north side, but it didn't look altogether that successful. Meanwhile, Czech does have an Ancient of War, has a Tree of Life, and it looks like this Forest Troll Shadow Priest could end up falling here. Nope, it looks as though the Troll Berserker is going to be able to get at least a little bit of padding in until the Warden gets that final blow. Warden gonna stay at level 3, but could get a Footman for her all of her effort. Warden's Shadow Strike now costs 75 mana as opposed to 65 from, I would have to say, over a year and a half ago, since that patch has been updated. But it is still nice to know that WarCraft 3 is on the radar to get some small patches if balance is needed. Blood Mage currently invisible, but I do not know if all of these trick plays are really going to work out in the long run. Forest Troll Shadow Priest could end up getting taken down right there, but the Blood Mage does not want to engage. That's a little bit strange. Blood Mage also does not have Flame Strike or any of the more powerful abilities. Siphon Mana, perhaps level 2, as we're looking at the archers looking to finish things off here. All right, there is oh wow, Phantom Knives going right there. Invisibility, Blood Mage has a little bit of problems. There goes down 1 unit once more, as we look at the remaining units still trying to chase there. All right, Blood Mage sitting at level 3, very, very low on hit points, needs a Scroll of Regeneration, gets exactly that. Militia once more going to Congo line up to that 12 o'clock position. Perhaps take down that Ogre Magi for the best item in on this particular map. Wand of Lightning Shield, as the Ogre Mauler now makes its way to join in on the fight. Alright, it looks as though Czech is going to be able to engage against that Blood Mage, do just enough damage to prevent any more healing, which is going to be a bit of an issue, as Militia now being called down over here to the bottom right. Czech has an expansion of his own. We do not see any towers coming into play, but this is still not looking good for Reprisal at all. Czech, if he can hold on to this base, will be coming out and smelling like a rose. Very, very strong. You can take a look at that. Blood Mage taking a lot of damage over time. As you can see, once more, another Shadow Strike going on to that Blood Mage, and the Blood Mage down to 114 hit points, has to be extremely careful. All right, are we going to perhaps see a Fan of Knives? There's another Shadow Strike there, and I'm not quite sure why the Shadow Strike didn't finish off the Blood Mage. That is actually a bit of a curious move right there. You guys will have to double check me, but I would have thought with Banish that Blood Mage would have been killed. 225 or 150 damage multiplied by, I believe it's at least double, if not double, at least 50%, so 225, as we now see an Ancient Protector down over here gonna get finished off. All right, Tree of Life taking a bit of damage. We are going to be looking at an Entangled Gold Mine once more getting destroyed. Wisp now being brought over, as we also see a Warden now coming in as well. So far, Czech using that Phantom Knife to great effectiveness, going to be able to shut down some of these units. You can take a look at this, that Blood Mage down to 212 hit points. Warden may be able to get off another Phantom Knives here, and there you go, dealing more damage. Once again, that Blood Mage in a little bit of trouble, trying to finish off all of the Czech's Troll Berserkers. Siphon mana off of the Druid of the Claw. Druid of the Claw is going to be staying in bear form for quite some time, as the Warden now still seeing at level 4 going after the Blood Mage. You see a Shadow Strike going in again, and the Shadow Strike is causing, I guess, 50% more damage, which means that after the magic resistance, it is pretty much dealing full damage there, down to 15 hit points, but no more. Blood Mage is down, and that will be the GG. Reprisal losing the 2 straight games to Czech. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this 2-game series between Czech and Reprisal.